The Minister of Planning says it's time to end TCL's monopoly on the cement market, and contractors say they're worried about the impact TCL's latest price hike would have on an already depressed construction industry. These are some of the reactions to the announcement by Trinidad Cement Limited that it was raising the price of its premium cement by 9.5% from today. And the president of the Association of Professional Engineers, Narayan Singh, says contractors and consumers will feel the pinch. Melissa Dasrath has more.
Minister of Planning Boindranath Tiwari says the 9.5% increase in cement will not affect the infrastructural projects under his ministry's purview. But he feels it's time to end the monopolistic stranglehold that TCL has on the country. He says we need to open up the market to create competition in order to drive down prices. The minister says TCL cannot rationalize the increase in TNT by citing losses in Jamaica and Barbados.
I understand why these things are emerging now in terms of the rise in prices. But I also want to indicate that, TCL is a monopoly. And I feel that it is important to have an open system in the market that will not allow a monopoly to take advantage of its monopolistic situation at the cost of the consumer.
Meanwhile, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Contractors Association, Mervyn Chin, says although TCL had hinted at an increase after the industrial impasse that lasted for 92 days last year, the increase in the cost of cement will not encourage the already hard-pressed construction sector. In fact, he says the increase will further depress the market. According to him, this will negatively affect consumer demand for cement because homeowners will be the hardest hit.
The market is still very depressed. So that if you have a very low demand, and notwithstanding the price went up, which I find strange, but TCL's rationale is that they had to increase the price because of the input costs. Be that as it may, it will not increase the demand, rather it might help suppress it.
And President of the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago, Narayan Singh, says the price hike could lead to a rise in other hidden costs. He explains, for instance, in addition to purchasing cement, there may be unexpected transportation costs.
It will impact it in the extent that there will be some additional cost of construction, so that to the extent that those costs are increased, and depending on the client and his or her budget, it will impact on it.
The 9.5% increase in cement translates to roughly $60 per bag. And although there is a consensus that this is a nominal increase, many are of the view that the costs can add up. So for the homeowner planning some renovation works, this means you have to shell out more money for a little more comfort or curb appeal. Melissa Dasrath, C News.
All the joy juice is flowing in Soca Land as Dwayne Bravo give another telling display to ensure TNT garnered their first win in defense of their Caribbean T20 title at the tournament at the Oval last evening. Roskin Mark says Bravo's all-round performance was key to TNT's success as they registered a solid 7-wicket victory to jumpstart their campaign.
TNT won the toss and inserted the combined campuses and colleges, and the students were off to a bold start with a couple early boundaries. But TNT's bowling reined in the youngsters and were quickly among the wickets, backed up superbly by their fieldsmen, Bravo with a blinder here. The CCC tried to break the shackles with some early success, but Kevin Cooper claimed 3 for 17 to be TNT's most successful bowler as the CCC lost their way in the middle passage. The veteran Floyd Reefer showed his class with 1 or 2 robust shots in his 14, and the others tried to follow his lead, Ryan Wiggins with a welcome maximum. Sunil Narine chipped in with 2 for 14 as the CCC were restricted to a modest 94 for 8 when their overs ran out. They gifted their wickets away far too early as the TNT bowlers cashed in after building up good pressure on the inexperienced students. Needing 95 for a win, Lendl Simmons smoked a boundary first up, and he followed that up with a maximum over extra cover, and TNT, they were cruising early. But they lost Simmons at 12 just when he seemed to be settling into some form. That allowed Perkins to take over, and he found the point boundary to his liking not once but twice in quick succession. Darren Bravo fell to a blinder, but the veteran Floyd Reefer took a big catch as TNT slipped to 31 for 2. However, big brother Dwayne Bravo had his back. He went long distance here for a 6 and was just getting started. And even though he lost Perkins in 19 at 52 for 3, it hardly stopped his positive approach. Bravo and skipper Dinesh Ramdin then saw TNT home with some responsible batting, with Bravo remaining not out 36 and Ramdin on 18 as TNT reached 98 for 3 to win by 7 wickets and jumpstart their title defense. Ruskin Mark, C Sports.